Hello Libra, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here in this general reading. Please take what works for you. It may also apply to someone you are close to at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, please feel free to cross-watch to my other videos for more information. I have shuffled and laid out the cards, so let's start. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, so as the cards appear in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. So in your first house, there is solar eclipse revolution. First house is everything to do with yourself. This is your personality, your vitality. It's also your appearance, your actual body, and also how you are projecting yourself in the world and how you are received by others. So this can be, pretty much all self-oriented interests and just how you are coming across as you make your way through your daily life. So now with solar eclipse revolution appearing in there, this says exactly what it is. You're undergoing some kind of change, and this is probably swift. It's going to happen quite suddenly. So you may just suddenly feel a change of direction is required, or you may have an upheaval and then have to make a change of direction. But through all of that, through all the change and perhaps feeling a bit uncomfortable, in having to make changes, then you need to just focus on the present. Keep your attention on what is directly in front of you. You may have a decision which needs to be made, or you may need to create or fix something in order to bring about something better. On the other side of this sort of change or rearrangement is something better. It's necessary for you to move forward. So whatever changes are occurring, it could just be an internal sudden realization that you're having. Something suddenly comes to you. You suddenly realize what it is you have to do or what action you need to take. And there's going to be a rearrangement of your world, so to speak, and how you move forward in your world. So it's a transformational card. It's a transformational influence. You're entering a new phase of life, a new start. It's also about breaking old patterns. So however it affects you, whether it's your physical body or whether it's your attitudes and your, how you are perceiving the world and moving forward, there's change there. But it's necessary change because there will be something much better for you on the other side of that. That initial period of trying to work things out after the upheaval, from that will come something much better. This will also, because it's your first house and how you are making your way in the world and how you are projecting yourself, it will come in later on in your 7th house as well, and also in any kind of interaction that you're having with others, because it affects yourself, how you are perceived by others as well. So we'll get to that later. In your 2nd house, you have Gemini, I think. So the 2nd house is everything to do with your money and your income. It's also your values and your self-worth. And your possessions, your property, land, so on. And it's all about what you own as well. So now with this coming in, your words are going to be really important. Gemini rules communication. So this is communication of all kinds, but your words really are going to be important, whether it's written or what you're saying. So you need to be sort of quick-witted, quick thinking. You may have to change your mind about something, or you may be changing your mind about something, or you may have to explain yourself in some way. But it's all about paying attention to what needs to be said. And also learning comes into this, versatility, new ideas. So it could also be, perhaps you're changing your monetary situation. Perhaps you have to ask for certain things. Perhaps you have to change the way you are billing for the time that you do. But not in all cases, it's all about communication, how you put yourself across and how you actually speak up about what it is that you require. So it's also be careful that you don't give too much information away. If you're changing something about your finances or your ownership of things or your possessions, don't give too much information away. Be sort of quick-witted and pay attention, but just be aware that others may be you may be the subject of gossip, or other people may be talking, or just you're somehow talking too much about what it is going on in your life. So just keep it close, pay attention, but also choose your words with care. You may be having quite a bit of nervous energy about things as well. Perhaps you want a little bit nervous about certain things you want to change, or something that you want to, some sort of ownership. It's, as I said, it's also about self-worth and your values. So you may just be feeling that something, sort of an attitude or a perception that you've had about certain things will now require a change, or you need to address certain issues. You may also be feeling a bit restless about certain things. Perhaps you're feeling restless about, what the money that you're earning for the time that you're putting in, and you need to change that, or possibly you need to bring in technology to make you more efficient. Or to manage your money better. There's lots of ways that this can come in, but it's words, it's change, and technology, and bringing about, bringing to you what you require, using your wits and your mental faculties. Then in the third house we have Chiron, which is healing. Now the third house is actually about your communication. So yes, you have communication coming in strongly for you in your money house and your values and self-worth, possessions and so on. But when it actually comes to, this can be communications of all kinds. So whether it's written, verbal, contracts, documents, it can even be social media. It can be dealing with the public in a wider sort of space. So it's not just, this is not one-on-one. This is dealing with others. So it's your interaction with others. With Chiron, there's transformation required there. So this is basically contemplation, so transforming the way you communicate, but there's contemplation involved there. There's deep listening to yourself and to others, but your communication needs to be measured. So you may feel that you want to rush in and change things, but just be aware that you may be sort of having to deal with quite a bit at the moment. And especially when it comes to contracts and documents, there may be quite a lot of difficult circumstances, or you may just have to sort of bear with yourself through some difficult times, and you're going to need to choose your words. This is also about self-honesty. And you may just be going through a difficult patch, slightly painful period, which gives rise to this contemplation and deep listening of yourself. Be honest with yourself. You will need to be bold. You will need to take action, but it's measured communication and measured action. You really need to tap into your deep inner resources here, because on the other side of the difficulty or the pain, or whatever it is that you need to communicate, there is wisdom on the other side of that. It's just to get through this sticky patch, and then on the other side of that, you will feel better, and things will feel better for you internally and with the people that you're dealing with. You may need to also, it could involve doing a bit of research or following up on various types of medicine, natural therapies, and so on. So you may be doing a bit of research in that, if that is to do with your work, or it could be to do with others in your family circle. So this is siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles. Something may come up and it will affect you. Maybe they are going through a very difficult patch, some kind of deep healing going on. So wisdom comes from the pain. So that you may be seeing it in others, and you are required to bring in all of those aspects that I've just discussed. So it's really seeing transformation in communication and what's going on around you, but also the way you are communicating through it, through some sort of sticky patch of some sort. And this house, the third house, can also be about short trips. So it may be worth your while to just do a bit of go to places where you can just take a break and enjoy a bit of self-healing. There's with short trips, it might just be worth your while to enjoy a healing break somewhere where you can have some quiet time just to contemplate what it is that you what is going on around you, what you need to say and how you need to say it, and just a bit of navel gazing, if you want to call it that, and also just to have a break and listen to yourself and your own needs and what it is, how you want to express yourself. Then in the fourth house, there is Uranus coming in. Uranus is the god of change. It has a sort of a genius faculty to it as well. It's electricity. It's like a bolt of lightning. It's a very transformative influence to be having. So now this is falling in your fourth house, which is everything to do with your home and your home life. So there's quite a bit of ways this can manifest, but ultimately it brings in sudden unexpected change or a surprise or even a change of lifestyle. But it's necessary, whatever it is necessary for your own personal growth. It may bring in relocation of some sort, or it could be even a change within your home. Perhaps the people that are in your home, something's changing there, or a change within your space where you're actually living. But whatever it is, it will be a liberating change. When Uranus comes in, it's not normally something small. It's usually fairly major, and it could just be a complete and utter reorganization of your space, so that it frees your time up or frees your energies up. But it really is a transformative change, so literally from one day to the next. And it may also be that you're aware of things that need to happen, and you're just taking no action to do anything about it, or you feel that you just can't get to it for some reason. Well, Uranus will come in and change it for you. And it's always better to preempt. If you feel you really need to make a change, rather go with your inner feelings, preempt the change, because when sudden changes are upon you like that, it can be really quite an upheaval. So work with what you feel, what you need to do. But it also could be that you have a new perspective on your home life. You have some kind of a realization about what it is that you need to do, or once you've been forced to make a necessary change, you will feel better after that sort of period has passed. You will feel better about where you are or what's going on around you. It's a new perspective. And also, if you're changing situations within your home, it could also be technology coming in. You may have new gadgets, you may have to deal with wiring or electronics or some kind of this is advanced tech, but if you're not really exposed to tech, so even a new smartphone can be advanced for you. So it's essentially the home life. The other aspect that may come in for you in the fourth house is also your ethnic identity, your foundation, your early life, what you came from. So this could also be undergoing some kind of rearrangement of some sort, or just your perception of that. Something may come to light. Suddenly you realize something, or an idea comes to you, and it could affect you in that way as well. Then in the fifth house, we have Mercury, mind. So this is the fifth house is everything to do with your children or children that you may be working with or exposed to, not necessarily your own, but children come in there. It's also your creative side, whether you are working in a creative field or you just have enjoyable hobbies or something that you like to do. Art, it doesn't necessarily mean art. Creativity is a different thing. You can be a creative thinker, or you can be a creative speaker, or you can just be creative in arranging outings for your children. So creativity comes in where you really apply your mind to everything that's going on, and pull a whole lot of aspects together to make an enjoyable and productive outcome. So it rules children, it rules your creativity, your creative side, and it also rules love affairs. It also rules recreation of all kinds, so having fun, sports, different types of recreational activities, and that can be anything. That can be sewing, that can be some sort of activity which you particularly enjoy. It could be anything, really. So what this aspect is bringing in for you is to apply your mind to whatever it is that you're doing, and take an intelligent approach. Think about your words. It's a very mental aspect. You may have to mediate in some way. So, it could be to do with your children. Perhaps your children are learning something, because Mercury also covers learning. Perhaps they're having to grasp new principles of some kind and you're being asked to assist them. But you're going to have to think about it and take, as I said, an intelligent approach, get organized, think clearly, rationally about how you can help them or how you can assist them to move forward. There's lots of ways it can manifest, but it could also be just taking a sort of a creative approach, an intelligent approach, using your mental faculties to be creative with your children. That's another aspect that can come in. Perhaps there are activities that you want to do together and you've got to plan it, but it will be light-hearted, it will be social, there will be technology involved, because all kinds of electronics and technology come in here. Possibly your children or yourself, you're now being exposed to new technology of some sort. You've got to bring it into your creative side, or you've got to bring it in for your children, or you just may need to upgrade your tech skills in order to keep up with your kids. This is the other thing. It's about bringing in humor as well, because if you can all laugh together, then really everything becomes so much easier. It's spontaneous. There's movement there. There's inspiration. It's about being flexible as well. You may have to be flexible about what you're doing with your kids or how you are in your, your interactions with, a partner, a love affair. It could even be, as I said, your creative projects. Games may come into this. As I say, if you've got technology, perhaps there's new kinds of games you can bring in for your kids, or you can learn a few different types of games, or you may just be enjoying gaming as a recreational part-time. There's also, if it's to do with a new love affair coming in, then friendship will be important, you could be attracting a Mercury type person. They're quick-witted, they're changeable, they can be glib and a little bit tricky as well. But changeable, quick, light-hearted, quick thinking, and often intelligent and intellectual, but like lots of activities like multitasking, doing lots of different things, or you may be required to do that in your love affair as well. So it covers all those different aspects for you. Then in the 6th house, we have the water element, which is sensing. So the 6th house covers everything to do with your working day, your working projects, your workplace, your work colleagues, and it can also cover your health and your diet and pets. So this is being the water element, sensing. This is about going with the flow. So following your gut instincts, feeling your way along. But even though you are going with the flow and feeling your way along, you still have to keep your hand on the wheel. Action is still required. You're still going to need to be in control, but just sense what needs to be done and move with it. Go with how you feel. And that can cover a great many aspects to do with your working life. It's also to do with mastery of what it is that you are specializing in or what you want to work with. It's also about harnessing your intuition. Avoid drama at all costs. Rather stay away from that. You may be having some sort of pause as well, sort of like a waiting period. Make use of that period while you're waiting, while you're sensing what direction to go in. You may just need to gather your resources as well. So gather your resources, harness them in preparation to move forward. It's quite a creative. Water is a creative aspect. You may be requiring a little bit of privacy as well. You know, if you've got projects you work on, or if you're working with others, you may just need to spend a bit of quiet time contemplating how you want to move forward, and just also to avoid, if there's drama going on, just to avoid it, just to pull back and spend a bit of time on your own, working on what it is you need to do. From a health and diet perspective, you may just feel a bit of low energy, also oversensitivity. So just be aware of that. Conserve your resources as well, because there will come a time where you now need to take action and move forward. And so you want to be in the best possible space in order to do that. Also, spending time near water will be, very beneficial for you. It will calm you and help you to enjoy this sort of period where you, so it's almost like the calm before the storm, if you want to call it that, or sort of that preparation phase. But either way, it's a sensing element going with the flow. Then in the 7th house, this is all your personal one-on-one relationships. And it can be love interests and also business partnerships. But partnership is indicated with the 7th house. So you may be entering into a relationship, or it's the deepening of an existing relationship. But let love deal with it. It's basically love conquers all. It's bringing that element in. If you are not in a relationship, then this is all about getting into a really loving relationship with yourself. So this is bringing in romance. So, even if you don't have to be in a relationship with somebody else, this is about balancing your male and female as well. You can enjoy romantic activities. You can bring romance into your life, into your home. There's lots of ways that you can bring that in, but it's ultimately the love of self. And then once you've mastered that, then really you can give love to another if that is on the cards for you. But it's love coming in, or it's the deepening of a current relationship. And it indicates partnership, as I say. So this could be also a business partnership. It's ease and grace. There's comfort there, or finding comfort there. Also, Venus has a monetary element to it as well. So with this monetary, you might even get a windfall or monetary issues, which may be causing a bit of problem within a relationship. Monetary issues should be sort of coming to some resolution there. You will find some kind of common ground or way to resolve it, and that will lift the elements as well. With Venus coming in, it's also about, as I said, if you're thinking about a business partnership, this is all about beauty. Anything beautiful is governed by Venus. This can be artworks, or the arts, enjoying eating out, movies, fashion shows, glamour, social events. So whether you and your partner are going to those kinds of events, or you and a business partner are enjoying outings of that kind, or it could just be a venture of some kind in one of those fields. But it's also about refinement. So this is about finding refinement within loving yourself, and also finding refinement within loving another. So it's all the higher aspects of love, and the nurturing and the comfort coming in there as well. Then in the 8th house, we have Pluto transformation. So the 8th house is everything to do with the deeper connection, the deeper shared resources within a committed relationship. So whether this is a love relationship or a business partnership, it's all about your shared resources, emotional and material resources. So whether it's a joining of resources, or it's transforming perhaps something that hasn't worked for you 100%, or you need to sort of sit down and work out how to move forward. It's all about that. It's transforming what is already there and making it better. It's also this is also about big finance. So this is investments. This is insurances, tax. Accounting, banking, all of those aspects. It also covers other people's money. So you may be in the business of managing other people's money, and some sort of transformation is required there. Or what it could mean is that in all of those aspects, whether it's personal or business, you may be facing some sort of change where something falls away and something new is coming in, but it will be better. Pluto is transformative, so something will be removed in order for the new to come in. Because if you've got a room full of chairs, this is just an example. If you've got a room full of chairs and you desire to bring something else in, you have to take one of those chairs out, or more than one chair out, in order to bring the new chair in. So it's something like that. So it's a rearrangement of how things are to make it better. Something could also come to light, because Pluto rules the underworld. It rules everything that is hidden or just under the surface. So something will come to light, and from that also some kind of realization may come in about what it is you need to change. So it's new and significant changes coming in once something else has fallen away. Old to new. That's basically what it covers. It's also intense. It's very intense, this aspect. It brings in intensity, and the 8th house covers sexual activities as well, or your sexual connection with your committed partner or your partner. So you can expect an intense sort of sexual aspect coming in. Or just intensity within this relationship or your business partnership. So be careful with your finances as well. Cut out non-essentials. Just be aware that there will be changes happening, whether it's on the personal or the business front. Then in the 9th house, you have Saturn return, which is age. Really what this is about is wisdom. The 9th house covers a variety of aspects. It covers your belief systems, your religion, or religion just in general. It's your higher education and your study. So this would be like further education, as in university or even adult education, or just perhaps something else you want to go and study after you're already working and you now want to further your education. It covers that as well. It covers philosophy, and it also covers exploration and adventure. So you could be trying to start something new, or you want to change direction in some way. This house also covers traveling, long distance travel, or dealing with other people of foreign cultures. So anything foreign. You could be interacting with people who are perhaps you're at varsity, and you're mixing with people who are from other countries, or you're being exposed to somebody who has come from another country. So it's that kind of aspect, or it could be import and export if you've got a business. This also covers teaching. So you may be a teacher, or you may be involved in teaching somehow, or you could be being taught. It also covers publishing and promotional work of all kinds. So the 9th house also covers the law. So the way this comes in with Saturn return age, this is about gaining wisdom through experience. Saturn is all about that. Saturn is about wisdom, and then the return indicates that it's something that has come from the past, something that you've gathered, your wisdom and knowledge, and also possibly you've been through some difficult times, and it's everything that you've come through, and you've now reached a point where you've come to a point of wisdom and understanding about what has gone on in any one of those areas of your life. So it causes a sort of deep reflection. You may have to put the past behind you in some way. You may have to examine your beliefs, or it could be that you undertook some form of study, or you undertook some kind of contemplation or deeper research on something, and you've now come to a point where you feel like you're going to complete it, or you may still need to complete sort of aspects of it. But it's also wisdom through responsibility. And it's a work hard period as well. You will still have obstacles to overcome. You may be going through a bit of a difficult patch, but you call on your wisdom and what you've learned to get you through that. If you this house also covers dealing with in-laws, so you may be interacting on that level as well. It's the higher courts and so on. If you're a teacher, you may have to draw on your wisdom and strength from the past, or your knowledge from the past, in order to get you through a difficult patch. Perhaps there's some sort of transition going on within your work environment. But you've got to stick to your goals, stick to your beliefs as well, and go with what's working for you. But work and graft is involved in this. If this is to do with some sort of form of international travel, you may be feeling like a little bit restricted, like you really want to do something, or you really want to achieve something from a traveling point of view or an adventure point of view, or you just want to explore new ideas and so on, but you just may not feel that you can at this time. This is about putting the plans down, putting your foundations in and building things block by block until you can get to that place, until you can get to that space where you will be able to go on that trip or do those, take that new adventure. This is about putting a firm foundation and a planning in place, and then you get to the other part later. Then in the 10th house, we have Saturn coming up again. So this is Saturn. This is all about finding the truth. So the 10th house covers your career. It covers your ambitions. It covers authority figures. And authority figures also come in, funny enough, in the 9th house as well. You may have a mentor or a fatherly figure or some kind of authoritative figure, and it's coming in again here. That's going to assist you in some way, or it could be a taskmaster as well, but through that comes great learning. You will learn a lot, even though it might feel difficult and so like you're toiling away, but at the end of that it will be very, very beneficial for you. So this is coming in again. This is all to do with career, your ambitions, it's also about your reputation, it's about your fame, and your objectives in life, where you want to head. So with Saturn, as I said, it's hard work coming in, but the reason for that, the reason why this comes in, is to make sure that your achievements are solid. That's what this is about. So you don't want to be undertaking something or moving in a direction where the foundation isn't properly set, or you don't have a proper structure in place. You have to put that in place in order to achieve really phenomenal results, to get the best results. This is a slow-moving energy, so this is not a quick fix. This is not going to happen overnight. You've got to really build that foundation. You've got to stick to your goals, and you've got to be diligent about it. And the mentor or the person that may assist you with this is there to assist you with that. So whether you like them or not, or whether you look up to them or not, whatever is going on is going to force you or push you in a direction which will, later on in your life, you will look back on that and realize that you learned quite a bit. So it's a slow progress. It's also about understanding the rules and how to make them work for you. It's about patience as well. So that's what Saturn brings in. Saturn eventually, the main aim of Saturn is to bring harmony into your life, to bring in a harmonious achievement. But it can only do that by bringing in the rules and the foundations and putting you in a position where you have to do that. You have to do that in order to reap the benefits later on. Then in the 11th house, we have void, of course, moon missing. So this is a period of no action to be taken. So this is coming into your 11th house, which is everything to do with friendships, and it's everything to do with your networks and your groups and your clubs, your associations. It also covers your hopes and dreams and your hobbies and interests. So this could be coming in where basically you may just need to pause for a while. Normally this doesn't take too long. It's usually a few days where the moon is off. It appears to be quiet between signs. It changes signs every 2.5 days. So you may just experience a period of maybe about a week or maybe longer, where you just feel that no action is required at this time, because what it indicates is that you may make impulsive action or be tackling something and it becomes a wasted effort because the time's not right for that to be manifesting at this time. So don't expend your energies on things that will not bear fruit at this time. So it's things are not as they seem. So just be patient and wait, because things are not, there's some kind of not deception necessarily, but just wait for things to be clearer. Things are not as they seem. So pause, wait, don't take any action, stay as you are for the moment. It's not a good time to be launching yourself into anything new, or to be embarking on anything that is completely new for you, or a new direction. Just allow matters to resolve themselves. If you're struggling with something as well, just allow things to work themselves out. It could be a friendship. Perhaps there's something going on there, or could it be more than one friendship where you just, there's something going on, things are not clear, something's going on, and it just means take a pause, take a break. Do not invest your energies in that right now, and just stay as you are. Just spin your wheels, maintain your whatever's going on. If there are issues going on with friendships, don't intervene, let things move, let things unfold by themselves. You don't want a sort of a wasted effort where you're now trying to make something work and it just doesn't work, or doesn't work as planned, So it's about that. It's just taking a pause for now, and that, as I said, it could affect your networks associated with business, or it could even be your groups or your associations, other people that you're interacting with on those levels. Then we have lunar eclipse change. This is falling in your 12th house. Change again coming in. Changes featuring quite strongly in a number of areas of your chart. So this is a sort of a 6-week, 6-month period. It could be something that has already been in the works and now it's bubbling over, or it could be something that gets initiated now and it unfolds over that period. So with this appearing in the 12th house, the 12th house is about the unconscious. So this could be unconscious beliefs, or just issues that are sitting in your inner self, which you haven't really dealt with, or you just haven't really tackled right now. Or it could be it also covers healing and mysticism and solitude and reflection, a bit of retreat and withdrawal, a bit of seclusion. So it's also your spiritual life. So it's that deep contemplation, understanding the self, understanding yourself, and then seeking wisdom and healing about it, or just understanding the deeper machination of the unconscious as well. So it's all about that. It's also about escapism of all kinds, addictions, and interactions with others, or in certain types of institutions. So that can be hospitals, it can be libraries, it could be universities, it could be government departments, and you could be going with another who's going through those different institutions, and what you're experiencing there on their behalf or with them, or it could be you going through those. It's just interactions, what you experience in those places. So, for instance, if you're studying something and you're now going through a little bit of a difficult patch, you may, be interacting with others in a university situation, and now suddenly something comes to light. So there's a realization, there's some kind of enlightenment here, there's some kind of wisdom which is going to be gained, some kind of clarity, because that's what the lunar eclipse does. It brings about change, but it could be something that's been sitting below the surface and now it bubbles over, now it comes to light. Or it could just be sudden enlightenment about something, a realization that you come to, an understanding of yourself, an understanding of what it is you really want, or what you really is going to give you that deep satisfaction. So something comes to notice, or something comes out in the open. So it could be a secret, or it could just be you suddenly, something falls into place, or something comes out in the open and you go, aha. So it's an aha moment as well. You may be feel a bit disoriented when this comes about as well, because now suddenly things have changed and you now need to sort of get yourself together. It's also about letting go of old habits or transforming old habits. But it's inevitable in any case, it's inevitable that it will come to light, and it's inevitable that you will receive this kind of wisdom or enlightenment or awareness. It's coming to an awareness about something. So as I said, it covers a great many things, the 12th house, but it's your unconscious life, it's escapism of all kinds. Maybe you'll come to a realization about something, or you may acknowledge that in fact you or another close to you does have some kind of issue that they need to address, whether it's an addiction of some kind or just something that they need to deal with. But it also could just be going deeper into, your own healing and your own mysticism, or your own reflection about your spiritual life, and coming to some kind of resolution there. So it's also comes in with deep contemplation and just realizing something rises to the surface. It could have already been happening and now it's happening, or it could be happening over the next 6 weeks to 6 months. All right, Libra. Hope you have a wonderful month, and take care, and I will see you next time.